Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Friday, and you can probably tell from my voice I'm not in a happy mood here. It's a big red day for me. Tried everything I could to get back to green. I was green at one point, and unfortunately, I keep digging holes, and it's pretty bad. And this might be my biggest loss, I think, or close to it. Might be the second biggest loss, but that's what we're dealing with today. I just overtraded and I think I just pushed far too much today. So let's take a look. Here we are. This was the intraday balance here, profit and loss, and I think it was because there wasn't a lot going on in the market. The first thing I traded was SQFT. And look at this thing. Like, that's a huge fade, by the way. This was actually popping up, and I kind of sat on my hands because it did go into a halt like right away. And, then it did it again. And so I hopped in at some point, and I think I got away with a win on that. Yeah, first trade was a win, 58 bucks. And then I switched over to MREO. This is another one I traded. But I'm honestly gonna say there wasn't a lot that I really liked today as far as like stocks to trade. I just was kind of once again reaching for straws and just trading anything I could. And I should have took the hints, but I didn't. And I kept pushing it because I so badly wanted to be green and have another green day. And because of that mentality, I just pushed it too hard. And as you can see, this running balance here, I dug myself a hole of negative 562 and was able to work all the way out of that. I got back to, I told myself when I was down here, I was just like, I just need to get green and leave it there and walk away. And I did. I got all the way green, up 215. And all it took was one bad trade. Now I'm down. This was a real bad trade here. Yeah, up 215 down to negative 566. So this is on CURO, CURO, and it was one bad trade, and I sized in really heavily. It was 600 shares, but it was like it was a high price stock, like 18 bucks or something like that, I think. So one bad mistake there cost me all that. I mean, that was a $700 loss right there. So for me, that's horrible. In one trade, that's risking way too much. And so once again, I got into this like redemption mentality and thinking, let me just get back to green and I'll call it. And because of that, I just kept pushing and pushing, went sideways, up and down, up and down, up and down. Got to negative 334. I mean, decent from that hole. And then once again, I made a drastic trade. I think it was on the same stock. Yeah. CURO. CURO, however you want to call it, CURO. At that point, it was down negative 334. And then that one trade brought it down to negative 1,066. So just horrible, right? So that's how it went today. And I need to take the clues, I need to take the hints, and just realize when I'm not, doing well, I need to step out, go do something else. But once again, when I sit down here, it's like you sit down for work for the day, and I just want to see the day through. And I guess I hang around because I know sometimes some other stocks pop up, and I'm waiting for that opportunity. and it didn't really come today. And because of that, I, dug a hole here. So this is what the trading journey looks like thus far. And right here is the cash account. This started in November. You can see minimal progress there with the cash account. Went into the margin right here, margin account, and dug a nice big hole, and then did a great job of digging out of that and taking it to the high of 3,144. So that was great. That one run, I was on this excellent green streak, and I guess what happened was it gave me a little bit more of confidence for sure, and maybe a little bit of ego too, thinking I was doing so well and that's going to continue. And you gotta realize with trading, there's just swings, there's up and down days, and definitely it's hard to deal with. So as of right now, sitting at 825, not great. I dug a hole off that high, recovered quite a bit, and then last 2 days of this week just screwed it right back up. So actually yesterday was decent, barely 122. So let's take a look at the calendar. This is what I'm looking like on the month. Pretty much this week right here. Look at this. Started off great, 880, 933. Wednesday is when I, fell into some traps and started feeling some pressure. And then Thursday was able to luckily get away positive, but it was by barely anything, 122. And then today, 1286. Massive, massive loss there. And because of it, I was negative on the week before I finished the day, but I had just a few trades that kept me just a little bit positive. And because of it, finishing the week up here, $62, which is nothing. And I, blew through all my hard work this week, really trying to do well. I gotta say, I'm happy in the sense that I'm at least positive on the week. It's always a benefit, and I've been positive this week, last week, and the first week. But in those last 2 weeks, $37 and 62. That's a joke. Like, for how much I've traded, those are just not even a drop in the bucket. So it's frustrating. So next week I have to go into it, and I got to perform, do well, and really, shoot for the stars, but be honest and be real about things. And when the flow is not going well, and I realize I'm digging down, I gotta just cut it. And when things are looking great and we're getting good momentum in the market, then just pedal to the metal and try to ride it out. So that's kind of the goal for next week. And I don't think there's any way I'm going to reach my goal to end the month on 13,000 for this month. It's looking really rough, only being up 1754. So maybe I'll reevaluate my goal here and try to make something a little bit more obtainable. But you never know. Every day the market is different, and today I just pushed it too hard on stuff that wasn't ideal stuff to trade. With CURO, we had a couple good pushes, but what's happening to me, I realize, is on some of these stocks like this, on these great pushes, I want to see that the stock can prove itself, and because of that, I wait to get into the trade because I want that confirmation. The problem is that confirmation of waiting till I see it has strength is costing me because I'm not getting in early enough to make that gain, make that profit. And when it does go strong and I see the strength, I get in, but it's not enough. It's just enough for me to take like a little chip, little tiny piece of the pie, and really doesn't get me anywhere, because what happens is you know, once I get back in the third or fourth time, thinking there might be another push up, sometimes they reverse. And when they drop, then I end up holding and I go, I'm gonna hold just for a minute just to see if this thing might turn around. And that mentality right there gets me trapped and things just go further down, and then I just forfeit it and go with a huge loss. So it's like I get all these nice progressions, these green progressions going up, tiny little pieces, and it builds me up, and then I get into one where I go negative just a little bit. Instead of just selling right there, I hold it and I'm thinking, okay, maybe we can get a curl up. And, you know, a lot of the times that doesn't happen. And I get stuck holding the bag and I gotta just dump it and take a big loss. So that's kind of the trend of what's been happening. So, you know, I'm gonna try to take note of that and come back to this with a little bit more focus next week and really just try to make a solid next week. I hope you guys out there traded awesome today, and I hope you guys were green and you did well. If so, let me know how much you were green today. And if today was red, you know, I'm with you. The struggle is real and it's difficult. So, yeah, but that's all I got. So make sure to, if you guys are enjoying this, make sure to subscribe, like this video. I really do this for me and for you guys to kind of compare beginner and intermediate traders, just to kind of encourage each other to do better and kind of analyze my breakdown of my trading for the day. So I really hope it's been helpful for a lot of you, and we'll leave it there, and I guess we'll see you next week on Monday. So take care.